In the early 1900s, America was prosperous. Many inventions were created at this time. One of those inventions was the radio. Many people contributed to the idea of the radio. In 1886, a German man named Heinrich Hertz developed the Hertz antenna receiver, which was used for transmitting and receiving radio waves. His name is still used today as a measurement for radio frequencies. An Italian man named Guglielmo Marconi sent the first radio signal in 1895, but most of the first signals were used for communication using Morse code. Reginald Fessenden, a Canadian, was the first to broadcast audio transmission in 1900, and the first to broadcast entertainment and music in 1906. Before the invention of the radio, mainly people got information from newspapers, letters, and by word of mouth. With radio, people can now hear news as soon as it happened, such as the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
From the NBC newsroom in New York, President Roosevelt said in a statement today that the Japanese have attacked the Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, from the air. I'll repeat that. President Roosevelt says that the Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii from the air. This bulletin came to you from the NBC newsroom in New York.
Since there were not many cars yet, people mostly heard music from local live performances. Now they could hear music from all around the world. For example, my great-grandfather, as a boy in Pennsylvania, would listen to the Grand Ole Opry from Nashville, Tennessee.
It's Grand Ole Opry time, another big Prince Albert show starring Red Foley. Thank you. When I was but a little child sitting on my mommy's knee, said, "Now, son, look here a while. You pay attention and listen to me."
In addition to news and music, people listen to popular radio shows such as The Bob Hope Show, Amos and Andy, and The Lone Ranger.
Well, here we are at the Pasadena Army Service Forces Regional Hospital. That's an ambulatory phrase meaning don't step out the back door, Joe. It's a 100-foot drop to the sewer. The Lone Ranger.
The invention of the radio also created a new industry of advertising with commercials.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much for a nickel, too. Pepsi-Cola is the drink for you. The brushless shaving cream supreme leaves your face so smooth and clean. Real cream, real cream, Brill cream, a little dabble do ya. Brill cream, you look so debonair. Brill cream, the gals will all pursue ya. They love to get their fingers in your hair.
By the end of the 1920s, over 40 million Americans owned a radio, but not everything about the radio was good. Many people were afraid of what they had heard on the radio, especially Orson Welles' War of the Worlds. People who tuned in late thought that the world was really going to be invaded by aliens.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's, and yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves...
Ladies and gentlemen, following on the news given in our bulletin a moment ago, the Government Meteorological Bureau has requested the large observatories of the country to keep an astronomical watch on any further disturbances occurring on the planet Mars.
Another frightening live event was a Hindenburg crash.
It's starting to rain again. The rain had slacked up a little bit. The back motors of the ship are just holding it just enough to keep it from... It's burst into flames. Get it started. It's fighting, and it's crashing. It's crashing terrible. Oh, my, get out of the way, please. It's burning, bursting into flames, and it's falling on the mooring mast, and all the folks between us. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's like 400 or 500 feet into the sky, and it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the flame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. All the humanity and all the passengers speeding around it.
Franklin D. Roosevelt broadcasted frequent fireside chats, and even now most presidents give weekly radio addresses.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Yesterday, on June 4th, 1944, Rome fell to American and Allied troops. The first of the Axis capitals is now in our hands. 1 up and 2 to go.
Yesterday, the House of Representatives passed a historic piece of legislation that will open the door to a clean energy economy and a better future for America. For more than 3 decades, we've talked about our dependence on foreign oil. And for more than 3 decades, we have seen that dependence grow. We've seen our reliance on fossil fuels jeopardize our national security. We've seen it pollute the air we breathe and endanger our planet.
No other invention from the early 1900s had as much impact at the time to the average American household as the radio.